Hello everyone, and welcome to another Do Try This at Home science activity with Mr. Brian. Well, in fact, today's activity is actually going to be a Do This Outside science experiment with Mr. Brian, because today we're going to do an old personal favorite, and that is the Mentos and the Diet Coke experiment. Now, usually when I go through and do this, I like to use a little apparatus like what you see I have right here, this little geyser tube. You can see that this one came from Hobby Lobby. You can find them at lots of different locations. This one comes with a roll of Mentos, and this one actually has a lid that's got all sorts of different little tops that can go on top of the apparatus to where it would make the fizz and foam go in other directions. So in some other video, we'll look and see what these do. What I like about this is that you can stack 5 to 7 Mentos inside of this little apparatus, and there's a little lever right here that you pull out, and that'll make all the Mentos fall down into your bottle of soda. It screws on to the top of the bottle of soda right here, and then you can see here is the top where this will push all of your fizz and foam out. This also adds a little bit of height to your reaction. Now, if you don't have one of those, another things that I've done over the years when I've done this experiment is I've gotten an empty M&M's mini tube. This is just a little bit wider than the size of a Mentos candy. So if you put 5 to 7 in that and just hold your thumb over it like this, then you can hold this upside down underneath your soda bottle, remove your finger, and then, of course, the candy will fall into the soda, and then you'll get to see the experiment take place. That is not how I'm going to be testing it today either. I've got a new method that I've seen that I've been looking forward to trying out today, and so we're going to try it out. What I've done here is, this is half a roll of Mentos candy, and I have hot glued them together. And then I will drop this in all at one time to see what kind of a reaction I get. And whenever you do an experiment, if it is a valid experiment, you should be able to repeat the experiment and get the same results. A good example of that, if you fill up an ice cube tray with water and put it in the freezer, it should freeze and become ice. If it doesn't, then it's probably time for a new refrigerator. So this will be our first experiment that we try with half a roll, but because anything worth doing in science is worth overdoing, our second experiment, I have hot glued together an entire roll of Mentos candy, and we will drop this into the second bottle of soda. Now, for both of my bottles of soda, we're going to be trying to film this with 2 cameras. The first camera will be shot as normal. The second camera is going to be kind of a ground level shot for the first experiment, which will be with the half a roll of Mentos. And we're also going to try for the second experiment with the full row of Mentos. This is going to be shot in super slow-mo. Now, when you try to do the Mentos and Diet Coke or diet soda experiment at home, there's a few important tips I want to give you to remember. First and foremost, you want to make sure you have some sort of eye protection on. You can see here I've got a pair of sunglasses that I'm going to be wearing that will protect my eyes. For that, you also want to make sure that you do not put your head over the top of the bottle, because you will get the whole reaction sprayed into your face. That happened to me a few years ago at one of the summer reading programs, but I didn't get anything in my eyes and everything was fine because I remembered to have on my safety glasses over my sunglasses. Another tip I want to give you is you want to make sure that your soda is warm. You will not get a good reaction if you pull a bottle of soda just right out of the fridge and then go to test it. We are trying to agitate the carbon dioxide, the fizziness inside of the sodas. It needs to be warm. Mine have been sitting out in the sun for a while to warm up, to hope that we'll get a better reaction when we go and we look and see how it's being tested right now. Another thing I would recommend, you will see that with mine, I have just generic store brand diet soda. You definitely want to use only the diet soda, that way you do not have any sticky, sugary after little liquids and stuff to clean up. It's a much easier cleanup with the diet sodas. I like the generic store brands for a couple of reasons. I've always gotten a better reaction from the generic brands because the bottles are flat up and down on the sides and not tapered in like other brands of bottles. And also, since this soda is only going to be used for scientific purposes and we're not actually going to drink any of this soda, it's also cheaper to go with the generic soda than to just buy your Diet Coke and stuff like that. But, you know, with all that, that's up to you guys to see what you do with that. So, let's go and check out our tests for both bottle number 1, which will be the half a roll of Mentos, and bottle number 2, which will be the full roll of Mentos. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Three, two, one. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, now I hope you guys enjoy checking out our test videos. I'm trusting that we've got a good decent reaction out of both of them. Now let's talk about why this worked. Here you can see in my hand I have got a Mentos candy and it looks nice and smooth. But if we looked at this Mentos candy under a microscope, we would see that it actually looks a lot closer to a golf ball. It has a lot of pits or dimples on it. These little pits or dimples are what's called nucleation sites. A nucleation site is an area where carbon dioxide can attach to help create and form bubbles. And it's this creation and formation of bubbles, which is called nucleation, the creation and formation of bubbles. In this case, it's from the carbon dioxide that is dissolved in our diet soda. The Mentos candy agitate and help free the dissolved carbon dioxide, help promote the production of the bubbles or fizz or foam at a much higher rate. With our soda bottles, there's only one direction for all this foam and everything to go, and that is up out of the bottle. And so that is why we get this reaction that we do. Now, it's not only Mentos that will do this with diet soda, and you can do it with other types of soda as well, and you can do it with other types of candy as well. And in other videos later on, we'll look at some different types of soda and other candies that will get you a very similar reaction to what we got with our soda and our candies today. So I hope you guys have enjoyed trying this out. I look forward to seeing what your guys' reactions look like. Be sure to keep an eye out on the Art Circle Library YouTube channel as we continue to post more fun science experiment and story and other videos. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.